The extent of association is measured by the coefficient of contingency. So now remember the way we had introduced the concept of coefficient of correlation, we are going to use coefficient is coefficient, it's an English word. We are going to use the concept of what we call as the coefficient of contingency. Why contingency? I will tell you. And there is a concept of contingency table also that will also I will tell you. So with this introduction, with this remark, we come to the introduction. What is the idea? See, I have told you that in the last lecture also we discussed something about an attribute, and some of your friends only in the class answered, sir, honesty is an attribute, beauty is an attribute, intelligence is an attribute, hardworking is an attribute, something like that. So there are, see, you cannot measure. You say that he is a very or she is a very hardworking student. Okay, you can say that I am studying sir 8 hours, but studying 8 hours does not make any sense unless and until you understand the things. So these are certain things which can be assigned a number in some sense that okay, later on for the data analysis purpose, I can assign say male is 0 and female is 1. That is a coding, not scaling. That is a code. So you'll say that sir 0 and 1 is a number, but yes, these numbers carry no meaning in terms of numerical meaning. It is just a kind of coding that male stands for 0, female stands for 1, or smoking stands for 0, non-smoking stands for 1, something like that. So, what is an attribute? By definition, it is a quality or a characteristic. As I said, you are honest, or you are smoking, or you are non-smoking, or something like that. So, suppose I am dealing with a data which is an attribute. Now, what is attribute? Several things, as I told you, color of your eyeball, color of your hair, even your height in terms of whether you are a tall person or a dwarf person, not in terms of 6 feet 2 inches or 4 feet 10 inches. That becomes quantitative. But if I just say that I am classifying the data as like a tall and a dwarf. Dwarf means जिनकी height कम होती है. Tall आप जानते हैं. So all these things are attribute. You are having a good height. Okay, it's a quality for you. So literally, an attribute means a quality or characteristic. Now we'll discuss something about the theory of attributes first, and then we'll go to the this concept of what we call as coefficient of contingency. So what is that? Theory of attributes deals with qualitative characteristic. See my cursor. It deals with qualitative characteristics which are not capable of quantitative measurement. Say for example, you ask generally, Kem cho bhai? So the answer comes generally is Majam. I mean, you are healthy or you are peaceful or you are happy, something like that. These are all you cannot measure. Either you are healthy or you are diseased. Either you are happy or you are not happy. There is no question of how much happy. I am very, very happy. That's another point, another category of happiness. Or I am very, very sad. There another category of sadness. So this is not, I will not say that I am 100 kilogram happy today. Something like that on the lighter side. So it is not capable of any quantitative measurement. So for example, I am talking about health, blindness, smoking, honesty, beauty, intelligence. Maybe list can go on. You can add from your side also. So what is the idea? As I just said, either you are healthy or are you diseased. આજે મને તાવ છે. Okay. So you are suffering from fever. In that on that particular day you are not healthy. So either you are healthy or you are not healthy. Right? Either you are honest or you are not honest. You cannot have honesty and dishonesty together. If you are honest, you cannot be dishonest, and if you are dishonest, you cannot be honest. So in that sense, it is said that either you possess certain characteristic or you don't possess certain characteristic. So that is what we say an attribute may be marked by its presence. Presence means you possess, either you smoke or you don't smoke. It makes no difference. You will say, sir, I smoke only once a year. Doesn't matter. Even if you smoke one cigarette in 365 days, you become a smoker. So that is the idea. Either it is present or it is absent. So you are just having a kind of category. Either the color of hair is black or color of hair is not black. Either you are intelligent or you are not intelligent. something like that. So the basic characteristic what we talk here is an attribute. Attribute means quality or a characteristic which may be marked by its presence or its absence. It is not like your data which you measure like 5 feet 10 inches or weight is 52 kilograms, or it can be any value 5 feet 4 inches and weight is 42 kilograms. No, not like that. That is not a quantitative data. So either I am tall or I am dwarf. That's it. So this is the whole idea of such type of data where we are dealing with. Once again, remember, either a categorical data or the data is on the nominal scale. This is very important. The whole discussion centers around this key point. So either you have it or you don't have it. As I just said, you are either honest or you are dishonest. You cannot be both. You will say, sir, I'm 99 times honest. Only one time I did some small kind of chori in the exam. Doesn't matter. You have to commit the mistake only once. That's it. So, presence or absence. This is the idea. Now, suppose if you have a data which has something qualitative in the nature, qualitative, it deals with the qualitative characteristics, which is not capable of quantitative measurement, then what kind of analysis, sir, we can do here? That is the whole issue. So one thing is that of course we can count it, sir, how many people are there who are a smoker and who are non-smoker, or say how many people are there who go for shopping to big bazaar or a mall and who do not go to big bazaar or a mall. That data is also very important. And then again, gender-wise, suppose sir you want to know, right? So in that case, the data is okay. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. And so somewhere in between, actually, I
Yes, sir.
dropped. Yeah, yeah. Actually, some message was there of dropping the sound. So I thought whether I have lost my audio or not. Mr. Faisal Khan, please mute your mic. आपका माइक चालू है. Faisal, Faisal Khan. हाँ. Okay. Fine. So I hope I am audible as well as my screen is visible. So,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
okay. Thank you. So what I am going to say now, suppose we are going to discuss a very specialized kind of data which we are dealing with. Of course, this can be generalized. I am not saying that what I am discussing is the only thing which we do in the theory of attributes. Theory of attributes itself is a huge topic, and because in the first year first semester level we are not going beyond bivariate, so I will not go to the trivariate. See, you know that uni, bi, tri. Uni means one, bi means two, tri means three. So even in first year first semester we do not go even to the trivariate data. So doesn't matter. We are going to confine our discussion only to two categories. But this is just a passing remark. Next year, sorry, next semester when you will go, you will be introduced to the concept of trivariate, and then we can definitely have further extensive analysis of the theory of attributes. But at the moment, suppose we have a kind of big assumption. I'm going to discuss now certain standard notations. Suppose that the population is divided into two classes only. Now, this is a kind of assumption. Why I am saying so? Because suppose you have a data of diseased people, gender wise, and also age wise. Now, there are three things: age, gender, and disease. Which age group people, male or female, are diseased? So, there are three things: age, disease, and gender. Then there are A, B, C, like that. And just now I have mentioned that because here we are going to not moving beyond bivariate data, so I will not go to even up to C. I will have only two letters, A and B. So with that understanding that we are not going to make our discussion beyond the discussion of bivariate data, suppose that the population is divided into two classes only according to the presence or absence of a single attribute. Single attribute means only one attribute I am taking into consideration. That attribute can be anything. That attribute can be shopping. That attribute can be smoking. That attribute can be gender. That attribute can be your honesty, that can be your beauty, that can be your intelligence, but only one. So suppose that the population is divided into two classes according to the presence or absence of a single attribute. Now we will use the word positive class and negative class. The positive class, which denotes the presence of the attribute. Suppose this attribute, you go for shopping, that is positive. You don't go for shopping, that is a negative kind of a thing. Suppose, for example. So there is a standard way of using the notations. That is why this discussion which I am writing is a notation. Which notation you are going to use? The positive class, which denotes the presence of attributes, is generally written in capital Roman letters. Now you know what is Roman? ABCD जो आप पढ़ते हैं, अपर केस लोअर केस एक अलग बात है, बट ABCD जो आप लिखते हैं that is called Roman, and alpha beta gamma delta you have also studied, that is called a Greek. So we'll use two वर्णमाला यानी कक्को 12 खड़ी कहेवाय. We are going to use two types of letter series. One is Roman letter, which will denote the positive class like A, B, C, D, whatever, and the negative class will be denoted by Greek letters such as alpha, beta, gamma, delta, and so on. So, what do you mean by this, sir? It simply means that if A represents the attribute, then its corresponding alpha will represent absence of that attribute. Suppose A represents health, then alpha will represent disease. Or A represents smoking, then alpha will represent non-smoking. Something like that. So we have this kind of nomenclature or this kind of notation, as I have just mentioned, that these are the standard notations which we are going to use. That again, what is the understanding? Roman letter, capital Roman letter, not small case. Capital Roman letter will denote the positive frequency, and the negative class frequencies will be denoted by the Greek letters. So for example, if A represents the attribute of sickness and B represents the blindness, then alpha and beta represents the health and sight respectively. Whether you write A alpha, whether you write B beta, whether you write C gamma, whether you write D delta, these are all complementary. Now you know what is this complementary. I think this you have studied in probability theory. Event A and B are complementary to each other. That is, if there is an event A, the complement is just opposite to that. A complement आप लिखते हैं या A C लिखते हैं ऊपर या ऊपर एक dash लगाया होगा आपने. So that if I know the probability of event A, I can find out the probability of event A complement. That is just 1 minus probability of A. Complementary is just like which complements A complements to alpha, something like that, or A complements to another event in probability theory, say B, something like that. So in that case, the two classes A alpha, or in that case B beta, or in that case C gamma, or D delta are said to be complementary classes. The letter alpha, which I have said just we are using as a Greek letter, is used in the sense of not A. Not A matlab, if A represents something, alpha will represent just opposite to that, right? So often these are called the complementary attributes. Similarly, of course, I have written for A, but I have mentioned, similarly, the way you have write for A, written A for A alpha, you can write B beta, you can write C gamma, you can write D delta, and so on. That is what I have written here. That similarly, we can write beta, gamma, delta are the complements of the of the attribute B, C, and D respectively. So this is what we have to keep in our mind as a basic understanding, that what are the notations which we are going to use in the case of theory of attributes. So what is theory of attribute? We have discussed a little bit. What are the standard notations which we are going to use out of it? Now what next, sir? What do you want? Now we have a kind of say like A, B, C, D, and then we can have various combinations also. So, for example, as I said, that you are talking about like gender and disease, right? So suppose A represents the gender and B represents the state, health or disease, then what AB will do will mean together. Like just like you must have studied like in probability theory, there is something like compound event, right? Now time is less, otherwise I would have asked you an example of an event and what is a compound event. So for example, very quickly, suppose you are playing the game of cards and then you know that there are two colors like red and black. So if I ask you that what is the probability of drawing an ace, that is one thing. But if I ask you that what is the probability of drawing an ace of red color, now there are two red color, heart and diamond, right? So in that case, ace of red color is two things. One is ace and another color. But if I say that what is the probability of drawing any ace, so that is different. Similarly, here we can talk about the combinations. Though we have classified only with respect to A, B, C, D, but of course there is a kind of combination which we can talk about. So what is the idea? The combinations of the attributes denoted by grouping together the letters concerned. That is AB. AB is the combination of A and B. It is like queuing again, maybe ace or jack or king or queen. It is a, what is the probability of having a king of heart? So king is one thing, heart is another thing. This is combined. We are combining the two combination. And when I say only what is the probability of getting a heart to king or a heart card, that is different thing. So we can have a combination also. That is what I mean to say. So we can talk about the combinations of the attributes which are denoted by grouping together the letters concerned, say anything A and B. Sorry, AB is the combination of A and B, then AB would mean, important part, simultaneous possession of attribute A and attribute B. Suppose A denotes sickness and B denotes smoking, then AB will denote sickness and smoking. We'll see with tables also. So what is A? A is sickness, B is smoking. How many people are there in the population who are smokers and who are sick? So it is not that we are having a kind of different type of categories are possible. We have only two things like A and B, right? And A and B can be have a combination. So if this kind of notation we are using, AB stands for like sickness and smoking, then if B is smoking, what will be beta? Beta will represent non-smoking. But A represents sickness, so A beta will represent sickness and non-smoking. It does not mean that the people who don't smoke will never fall sick. They also fall sick. So this is our understanding, just like a king of heart or a king of spade. So there are two things combined together. So this is just a simple example. We can have several like that. So in that case, what is the representation A beta? Or say for example, what do you mean by alpha beta? If A is sickness, what is complementary to sickness? Non-sickness. If B is smoking, what is the complementary to B? That is non-smoking. That is suppose our understanding or notation say that A complement is represented by alpha, B complement is represented by beta, then this letter together, alpha beta will represent what? Sir, alpha beta will represent non-sickness and non-smoking. Okay. Now I have only 2-3 minutes left out. Dhruvi, I hope you are there in the system. Dhruvi, hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Dhruvi, you will click 2-3 screenshots of the whole class. I mean whole screen.
Attendance.
Yeah, and
Yeah. Okay.
please try to click that part where number is shown. So 47 people are attending this lecture right now, and where my photograph is also there. They are like
Yeah.
presenting. But दो खींच लोगे तो चलेगा. Just two shots, right?
Okay.
Because in Google Meet, I am not very sure about that how I can download. There is nothing like downloading the attendance sheet here. I can record the meeting. I can. change the background. All those options are there, but I cannot download your attendance sort of a thing, right? So this screenshot will help me for your attendance and my attendance as well. Okay. So this responsibility is yours. Fine. So we come back to the discussion. Just 2 3 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just 2 3 minutes more. So what I was talking that we are saying that this is just a simple example. We can have several examples like that. Suppose not only that I should think that like A, B, C, D are there. There are, say, even if I take two, A and B, and then alpha and beta, you know that there are 2 cross 2. That means 4 type of combinations will be there, right? Like A, B, A beta, and then A alpha, B beta, and then alpha beta, which we have written over here. So in that case, how we are going to interpret? Just a moment. Okay, so my screen is visible again. Can you see my?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
okay. So what I am telling that these combinations when we talk about, as I just told you, that suppose there are only two things, one is A and another is B. We'll see in table also, and that is why we will use the word contingency. Why still I have not told you that why contingency and what is the meaning of contingency and so on and so forth. But the whole idea here is that if I'm talking about, you can take, let me tell you, any two things like A and B is not only sickness and smoking. You think of anything, A and B, suppose A is gender, B is beauty or intelligence. Can you prove that only girls are more intelligent or only boys are more intelligent, or whether intelligence has to do something with the gender? This is a very, very important study in education and psychology. People, those who are doing BA DMED, if you know that they are talking about whether the, I mean, you must have seen without any gender bias, I can say that when the results of 10th and 12th come, and then there is a newspaper headline, they want to create a sensation कि लड़कियों ने लड़कों से बाजी मारी या लड़कियों ने लड़कों से ज़्यादा अच्छा परफॉर्म किया, तो एक मन में आता है क्या लड़कियां ज़्यादा तेज होती हैं पढ़ने में या आर दे मोर इंटेलिजेंट? द थिंग इज दैट कैन यू प्रूव इट साइंटिफिकली? उनके पास एक जवाब होता है, हाँ भाई पास परसेंटेज लड़कियों का ज्यादा है, लड़कों का थोड़ा कम है, इसलिए लड़कों का परफॉर्मेंस उतना अच्छा नहीं था. बट साइंटिफिकली कैन यू प्रूव दैट इंटेलिजेंस एंड जेंडर हैज समथिंग टू डू? तो A is gender, B is intelligence. Like endless possibilities are there. So all these things which I have just mentioned today, that we are, I can tell you one thing before I close my lecture today. Now we are completely changing our gear and going from quantitative to qualitative, which is very common in the real life situation. Don't think that my data is always capable of measurement. Yes, sometimes it is capable of measurement, but we make certain categories. Just as an example, I have given you the category of age, say like children, adult, and elder people. Similarly, we can have income also. If you know that there is something like in the government also, you must have heard like something like EWS. I mean, without any bias, I'm telling, economically weaker section. Then we have like LIG, that lower income group, MIG, that middle income group, HIG means higher income group. What are these? These are just categories. I am not saying कि LIG में कितने लोग, किसकी इनकम कितनी होगी तो LIG में कैटेगराइज हो जाएगा, वो एक अलग कैरेक्टरिस्टिक है. But if I say that there are 15,000 people in Baroda city who are in MIG group, then that is just a category of income, and accordingly Sarkar or the government will place here that okay, this is the housing scheme for you. So all these government policies and planning are all based on statistics, which you will learn throughout, right? So anyways, I know that there may be some other lecture also. Just one thing before I stop today. Uh, we will meet tomorrow with whatever I have discussed. I don't want to waste my time, and because I don't want to start anything new in the end of the lecture, so we shall continue with this word. You could have seen at least एक word आपको दिख रहा होगा आपके screen पर, which is written dichotomy. So we'll start from this dichotomy tomorrow. But before that, one or two line I wanted to discuss, because in general, some of your classmates are asking that which which books I prefer, or which book you should prefer or refer to. So if you see at your syllabus, there are 4 5 books which are mentioned over there. Of course, I am not taking my notes from any one book, let me tell you. If you are trying to find out that whatever I am covering in my notes, you will find in these books, you may find some of the contents there, not all the contents. Because my effort is to take the material from those books which is easily understandable and digestible to you. So I will add one more book which is not mentioned over there in your list of reference books. That is, I hope I have said it several times once again, Fundamentals of Mathematical Statistics by S.C. Gupta and V.K. Kapoor. This is the book which I am also referring. Apart from the books which are mentioned in your syllabus as a reference book, all of them I am not referring. Some of them I am referring, and particularly because I think I have told you several times that your syllabus is changed from the last 1 year only. So some of the things you will not find in Gupta Kapoor or Gun Gupta Das Gupta, which is also a very good book. It is also mentioned as a reference book, Fundamentals of Statistics, Volume 1 by Gun Gupta and Das Gupta. It's a very good book. If you ask me, sir, which book do you prefer? That is my first choice. I repeat, Fundamentals of Statistics, Volume 1 by Gun Gupta Das Gupta is my first preferred choice book. Very good book. But these are very old books, written almost 30 years, maybe 40 years back. And at that time, this kind of data visualization or all these kind of concepts which we discussed, like dot chart and like I mean multiple stack chart, sorry, multiple histogram or multiple box and whisker plot. These things you will not find in old books. For that, you will have to go to the books of statistics online, and all those things, data visualization in particular. I must say that data visualization part I am taking from the recent books which are published 2010 onwards. There is a reference of a book which is published in 2017. So in these books you will find, because a lot of things have changed after the advent of the computers and after the availability of the several type of software and packages. Now even you will wonder, if you don't know even Excel or any kind of, if even if you know simple Microsoft Word, you can draw a pie chart. Pie chart facility is there in MS Word even. So forget about even Excel. So what I am trying to convey is that some of the things which I have covered initially, particularly like data visualization, and that too when we go to the bivariate, univariate, all these things are available even in the 12th standard book. You can find histogram, ogive, pi, bar diagram, multiple bar diagrams, divided bar diagram, subdivided bar diagram. Everything is there. But when we go from univariate to bivariate, as we are discussing at the moment, and particularly the data visualization of bivariate, in older books you will not find this. So once again, my suggestion would be go for any book which is published 10,015 onwards. There is a book which is mentioned, I think, which is published in 2017, or Statistics Online, right? So these are some of the thoughts which I was thinking to share with you for the last few weeks, but somehow or the other I could not. So I thought that today I must share that there is no secret that from where I am taking what, right? So that not only my notes, you can definitely my notes, definitely I'm just completing. Definitely my notes will be there, but you can combine my notes with these reference books. Yes, somebody wants to say something. Please go ahead.
Sir, that we should prefer that is after 2010 one
हाँ,
fundamental statistics math by
ध्रुवी तुम्हारी आवाज इको कर रही है.
and
हाँ, बोलो. Which one? हेलो, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही.
सर लीव हो जाए.
हाँ, आप बोलिए.
सर आपने लास्ट नोट्स वाली पीडीएफ अपलोड नहीं की.
लास्ट पीडीएफ मतलब कौन से पेज 47 तक अपलोडेड है आपके पास?
नो सर.
अच्छा, पेज 47 अपलोडेड नहीं है.
नहीं.
अच्छा, तो वो मैं आज कर दूंगा पक्का अभी। अच्छा क्या तुमने
थैंक
याद
यू
दिलाया।
सर।
ठीक है, मैं एक्चुअली आज मैं पेज 48 से शुरू कर रहा हूँ, तो मैं शायद 34 या 35 मुझे याद नहीं, वहां से लेके 47 तक मैं
यस
अभी
सर,
अपलोड कर देता हूँ।
34 तक ही है।
तो ठीक है, मैं 35 से 47 अभी जस्ट ये लेक्चर छोड़ते ही मैं अपलोड कर दूंगा।
ओके सर, थैंक यू
अच्छा,
सर।
नहीं नहीं, अच्छा कि आपने याद दिलाया, मैं कभी कभी याद नहीं रहता है मुझे। ओके, सो सी यू टुमारो, इट इज ऑलरेडी 10 मिनट्स ओवर, आपका दूसरा लेक्चर भी होगा, बाकी बातें हम कल भी कर सकते हैं। आई एम गोइंग टू लीव द मीटिंग, राइट, एंड आई विल अपलोड द नोट्स, डोंट वरी, जस्ट नाउ।
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
ओके, थैंक यू।
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.